this, we bring back our great friend, Texas Senator Ted Cruz. Thank you, Mr. Cruz. We appreciate it. Look, I know your position on this Senate legislation, but again, I just say this. I don't want triggers. I just want a successful campaign, as you probably do. Remain in Mexico, build the wall, catch and deport. This whole story here, what do we need more legislation for? And it isn't going to be any good. And you know that Joe Biden and Alejandro Mayorkas will not close the border. I don't care if it's 5,000 or 8,000 or whatever thousand. You know this, Senator. That's why this is such an exercise in futility. I'm sorry. You're here as the guest. You talk, please. I'm too excited.
Look, listen, Larry, you're exactly right. Every word of your opening remarks were exactly right. One of these days you're going to say something I disagree with, but it hadn't happened yet.
Thank you, sir.
Look, you focused on how this crisis happened. Joe Biden inherited incredible success. He inherited the lowest rate of illegal immigration in 45 years. And Joe Biden deliberately caused this crisis. And you put your finger on the three decisions he made all in his very first week in office that caused this crisis. He immediately halted construction of the border wall. He reinstated the disastrous policy of catch and release. And he ended the incredibly successful Remain in Mexico agreement. And that took the lowest rate of illegal immigration, and it caused it to explode. We now have the highest rate in history. 9.6 million illegal immigrants have come into this country. And Joe Biden wants it. It's deliberate. He could fix it tomorrow if he reversed those three decisions. He's not willing to. And I got to say, you're also right on killing this bill. Look, we had a vigorous debate at lunch with Senate Republicans. I stood up and I urged my colleagues. I said, look, this is going nowhere. In order for any bill to pass, it's got to pass both houses of Congress. The Speaker of the House has said this Senate bill is dead on arrival. It has no chance of passing. And so I asked my Republican colleagues, why are you putting forward a bill that doesn't fix the problem, doesn't secure the border, but that gives Democrats an excuse to do what you just played Karine Jean-Pierre doing, saying, oh, well, we would fix the border, but the Republicans didn't pass our bill that would never have fixed the border. It is ridiculous. It is playing into Chuck Schumer's hands, and I think we need to demand, fix it, solve it. And I'll tell you, there's only one way we're going to solve it, and that is to throw Joe Biden out of office, to elect Donald Trump in November. And we know that President Trump solved this problem before. He'll do it again. I worked hand in hand with him when he was president the first time, and I'll work hand in hand again with him again to fix it again.
Yeah, he will start day one, Senator. And by the way, your collaboration with President Trump, both then and now, is a very welcome development, and everybody will benefit from that. Senator Cruz, let me I just want to clear the decks on this terrible immigration story and the lawlessness that goes along with it. I just want to note this. It is now 4 days, roughly 96 hours, since the Iraqi-backed militants attacked the U.S. base in Jordan, and 3 troops were killed. And I don't know, countless, several dozen, almost 40 or so were injured. It's 4 days, Senator Cruz. So far, we have heard nothing from the White House on what they're going to do, and maybe more importantly, we have seen them do nothing. No actions have occurred. They should have taken action inside of 24 or 48 hours.
Yes.
Military man after military man came on this network, Fox News, Fox Business, and said, you know, maximum 2 to 3 days. We have not struck back yet. I see dithering. I see us sending the wrong message. 4 days after these 3 military troops, reservists from Georgia, have been killed and countless others have been injured. This is an outrage, Senator Cruz. This is an absolute outrage.
Yeah, it absolutely is. Joe Biden is a weak commander-in-chief. He is unwilling and unable to stand up to our enemies. And the result is every serviceman and a woman in America defending America is at greater risk. We've seen servicemen and women killed, whether the 3 that were killed by Iranian proxies or whether the 13 who were killed in Afghanistan with Biden's disastrous withdrawal and surrender there. We've seen Joe Biden's weakness. And to be clear, Iran has launched 170 attacks on U.S. forces with Joe Biden as president, and Biden has dithered and done nothing. Not only that, he's not just dithered and done nothing. He has funded the regime that is attacking and murdering Americans. Under Joe Biden, this administration has flowed over $100 billion to the Ayatollah who chants death to America. And weakness is provocative. Our enemies are stronger. And to give you an example of it, look, Joe Biden inherited peace and prosperity across the globe. Every region of the world is worse. Every enemy of America is stronger, and America is at greater risk. And to give you an example of that, so Iran is stronger, China is stronger, North Korea is stronger, Venezuela is stronger, Putin is stronger in Russia. And just last week, what did Joe Biden do? He announced what I call the Vladimir Putin subsidy from Joe Biden, which is he blocked future exports of liquid natural gas, which means Europe has to buy from Russia instead of from America. It hurts jobs here, and it helps Putin, but this is an example of Biden's weakness and how it makes it more dangerous.
I was just going there. One area that Biden has not dithered on was putting a pause or a hold on any new LNG installations, which we desperately need, which not only damages our domestic economy and its security, it damages our national security. Now, interestingly, Senator, there was no dithering on that. He just came right out with it and made no bones about it and broadcast it to the world. Not what we're going to do to the Iranian-backed militants or to Iran, not what we're going to do to close the border, but, oh, gee whiz, golly, the most important thing, let's stop LNG, which is such a boon to our economy, to our jobs, to lower energy prices, and to our national security. So, as you say, we can stop backing Russia and Iran on those things. It's just remarkable to me how mistaken their priorities were. Last one. You were in the hearing today, I believe, Zuckerberg, Meta. He apologized and so forth. What do you make of that? Is anything going to change?
Look, I think big tech does enormous damage to this country. This hearing was focused on the damage to kids. And I will say, as the father of two teenage girls, it is horrifying, the garbage that gets shoveled to our kid. Every parent I know is worried about the garbage that is being sent to our kids. And you know, I asked Mark Zuckerberg, I put up, for example, a screen that they had come up on Instagram that said, you are searching for child pornography. Would you like to proceed to the results or not? And I asked him, what in the hell are you doing encouraging, facilitating pedophiles and people that are seeking out child pornography? And big tech, unfortunately, they keep making the decision to put profits above the welfare of our kids. I think we need to do a lot more to protect our kids online.
Well, I agree with you, and somehow there have to be guardrails here. I don't want to destroy our tech companies, because I'd rather we still had these American tech companies and that they're not Chinese.
Yeah, I agree.
But the other thing I just want to ask you about, this is a vexing problem. We just have a minute. We took this up in the Trump administration, what to do about TikTok, and ByteDance in China's communist-run company. There's massive evidence that all the personal information flows right back into Beijing and so forth. And I know millions and millions of kids look at the darn thing, but the fact of the matter is we're just helping the CCP. We're not helping our kids. We're helping the CCP. I'll give you a last thought on that.
Well, you're exactly right. One of the people testifying was the CEO of TikTok, and I asked him exactly that. He, number one, confirmed ByteDance, the parent of TikTok, is governed by and subject to the Chinese intelligence law that requires them to obey the Chinese Communist government, that requires them to lie about it. And I also pointed out, why is it that TikTok gives Chinese kids math and science videos and educational videos and limits the time they can be on, and yet American kids, it's feeding garbage and self-harm and suicide and substance abuse and pro-Hamas propaganda. They are deliberately undermining the children of America. I think it's dangerous.
Yeah, you're right. We got to figure out a way to go after that one. Anyway, great Senator Ted Cruz. Thank you, sir. It's a great pleasure to see you.